Do you think that it's possible to live as a free sovereign being in our new world order where you will own nothing and you will be happy? The answer is obvious. Yes, it is possible to be free, to be sovereign, to live in the system without being in the system. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how, because I did it. I am the living example of a free sovereign starseed. I have never had this. I've never had one of these, you know, those deep things. In the last 6 months, not one single person has ever asked me, have you had the V? I've been able to move around freely. I've been able to go anywhere I want. I've been able to enter any establishment and do whatever the heck I want every single day. So it is possible. Stay tuned and you'll find out exactly how. Beautiful children of the stars, how have you been holding up? Are you okay? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Did you ever think that we'd get to this point? I did not think so. Actually, we've been living in golden cages for the last 400,000 years under the thumb of negative soul groups, Anunnaki draconian rule, those who rule the world, and we know who they are. They're basically everyone who has any say about money, politics, health, industry, food, religion, everything basically. And they are all not having the best intentions for us. We know this. We know everything that's behind there already. But today, the question is there a way to live as a free sovereign being right now while this is all happening in this world? I know some countries are already easing up a little bit, apparently, right? With the obvious restrictions that we can see, Other countries are getting a little more strict. We don't know what's coming, but it is happening. I think it's already happened. The new world order is kicking in, and what I feel is happening right now, which already has happened to a great degree in the last 2 years, is that our beautiful world has already split. It's not like a split will occur, it has split. The earth plane, our mother Gaia, our earth, has split first energetically and now even physically into different sections, not even into two, into many different dimensional planes. And this has happened. This is very apparent. And I feel this will continue. I know we talk about unity for all mankind, for all humankind, but I don't see that happening right now. And we have to survive now in the present moment. We can't just live a dream. Oh, all humans will eventually reunite. What are you going to do right now? How are you going to navigate this and remain free, sovereign, feed yourself and your family, and live a beautiful life? How can you navigate this? And I'm going to tell you how. And as always, my beautiful friends, everything has to start with energy, So what's happening right now is there is a dimensional split. We know that our Earth has been in the third dimension in the past many thousands of years, but what's happening right now is that certain regions are dropping lower in dimensions, in density, and other regions are going higher in dimension or density. The whole Earth in general is going down because the greater percentage of humanity is actually devolving. That's what I'm seeing. They're devolving. The grip of negative souls who want to rule the world, who are using us as their food source. They're oppressing us, and they have the majority of humans still in their grip. Humans are still not aware of what's going on. They're going deeper and deeper into unconsciousness. The Anunnaki spell upon humanity, that obedience code, the black magic spell that was put upon us by the Anunnaki 400,000 years ago, has not lifted for a great portion of humanity, so they just go along with whatever they are told. We know that it's happening. Klaus Schwab, who said, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Where has this happened already? I can tell you a few countries. North Korea has already dropped into the negative 4D nightmare realms a long time ago, maybe 50 years ago. It's happening, my friends. It is happening around the world. That what we were fearing, that new world order where humanity will turn into mindless, unconscious beings that are used as an energy source by the negative ones, that they're being more and more disempowered. I mean, in China, can you own land? Who has property? Who has a car? Who owns anything? We can see now that they are completely under the thumb and under the control of those who rule them, that it's very easy. And in many places in the world, we are going in that direction, right? And this is just a little bit of a frame of reference. So today's theme of how you can actually escape this, of how even in a country, in a world where this is happening, where you see that there's less and less choices you can make, you have more and more pressure to do what you don't really want to do. More and more pressure to have digital passports, to take more and more of these. More and more pressure. I'm saying not in all countries. Some countries are easing up a little bit for now. For now. But why are they easing up? Because they already got most of the population. Most of the population has already gotten this. And we know that if you take this as an unconscious person, if you put things in your body that they are giving you as an unconscious person, you keep getting boosted and boosted and boosted. We know what that does. The soul starts to separate from the body. The body starts changing within genetically. We start, I'm not saying we because I've done it, I'm saying we as humanity who is being coerced and forced to do this. In many countries, it's 50, 60, 70, 80% of the population who already have that stuff in them, right? That's why I'm saying we as humanity, we are becoming less and less human, more and more easily to manipulate, less and less willpower, more and more asleep, less and less ability to throw that Anunnaki spell off. There are things, substances in those, I believe, that are locking up our genetics even more, that it's even harder to throw off that spell of genetic lockup that is stopping us from ascending, that is stopping our DNA from evolving. And that's how you ascend. You evolve your DNA and your consciousness. It's one thing. And these substances that are in our bodies are stopping our DNA from evolving, are stopping our consciousness from opening. That's what it is. And we know this. We know this. So the easing up of the restrictions is, I feel, partially to give us a little bit of hope, so we can kind of relax, so we can gain trust again in our governments, and because most people already have done what they want them to do. Also, I feel what happened in the last 2 years was a test to see how far they can go, to see how easily humanity is controlled, to see how easily people comply and let themselves be plowed under. And as we can see, it's pretty easy in most countries. Most countries didn't really pass the test. Most people didn't really pass the test. Only a small percentage of us passed the test. So that's the situation. And the question is, how can people who are awake, like you and me, people who have resisted, people who refuse to comply, and I still stand by what I said, my friends. Nobody in this world can ever force me to do anything or put anything in my body that I don't want. They'd have to hunt me down and shoot me first, okay? For me, sovereignty, freedom is everything. Without that, there is nothing. And I have found the key in how to escape the system, how to become invisible in this system, how to survive the New World Order. And it's actually very, very, very simple, okay? It's really simple. And I'm going to tell you, as always, I simplify things to one simple concept. And I'm going to tell you that concept first energetically, and then I'm going to tell you how physically this works. Okay, so the concept is this. The concept is this. We can see them, but they cannot see us. Okay, we can see them, but they cannot see us. So what does that mean? This is a dimensional, a vibrational cosmic law. Those of higher vibration, higher dimension, are invisible to those of a lower dimension. Think about this. Let's say we are normal human beings in 3D. The angels, the spirit guides, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, most starseeds are in 5D, 60, 70 or higher. Now, can we see them? We cannot see them. Even if our spirit guides are here with us, standing beside us, my beautiful dragons, my unicorn, my lion guide, they are with me now, right now. But with my physical eyes, I cannot see them because they are in a higher dimension. They live in a higher dimension. Why do the stars look empty? Why do these planets look empty? Why can't we see life on planets? It's because most life out there in the universe is in the 5th dimension. It exists in 5D and we are in 3D, and we cannot see higher dimensional beings, places, civilizations, even planets. That's why the universe looks empty out there. That's why we cannot see life on Venus. We cannot see life on Jupiter, right? Because it's a higher dimension and a higher density. Now apply this principle to us. Okay, now there's a few exceptions. There's a few exceptions. In the 3rd dimension, the 4th, the 5th dimension, there is a little bit of a discrepancy because 4D is a in-between astral realm, and beings in 4D are also invisible, even if they're a little bit lower, all right? The beings are lower, spirits are lower. In 3D, we tend to be like pretty dense. Our eyes cannot see the lower minus 3D astral beings, but we can see 2D and 1D. So the astral realm is a little bit of an exception. The negative 4D dimensions are the nightmare realms, the bad dreams, negative magic, strange astral creatures that exist. We cannot see them just because of the nature of the 4th dimension. But cosmic law usually is that a higher dimension can always see a lower dimension, except for 3D is a little bit more limited, but that's how it works. So what I'm saying is this: the higher you vibrate, the less those who rule the world and the rest of society can really see you. You become invisible. You can slip through the cracks. You become inaccessible to them. The higher you vibrate, the less those negative 4D beings, I'm talking psychic attacks, I'm talking negative soul groups, I'm talking, those negative influences. I don't want to be too negative, the demonic things, all those negative energies, entities, anything that is of a lower dense vibration cannot access you, see you, affect you, touch you, pull you down, get to you. It can't. The higher you vibrate. Now, if you're a dense, normal 3D person, they can, because it's very close. But the trick in this whole game is raising your frequency, raising your dimensional beingness, ascending basically. It's the process of ascension. And if you feel that ascension is suddenly, the aliens are going to come and take us away, no. We are ascending in every single moment that we're making a better choice, that we are going up in density, that we are keeping a vibration up. We are ascending right now. We already are ascended. if we have done a little bit of spiritual work, to a degree. So the trick is this. If you want to become invisible and be able to move through this New World Order, move through the laws, be able to live a highly vibrational life, be able to live in a free way, the only way to do that, my beautiful starseed family, is to become an ascended being, is to keep doing your work, is to keep moving towards the light, is to keep healing yourself, is to keep clearing yourself, is to keep living in the vibration of love and joy and peace and higher. You have to reach that vibration of love, which is 500 on the Hawkins scale, because the negatives are so low down here that the higher you go, the less grip they have on you, the less they can access you and reach you. And the higher you go, the more you will be able to see, hear, and feel your spirit guides, the angels who will be able to guide you. I've noticed this. The more spiritual work I do, the more I fill myself with love and joy and light, the more I am in Christ consciousness flow, the more I work on this. And you can actually work on this. How can you work on this? Meditate every day. Laugh a lot. Look up towards the heavens. Don't give up on your dreams. Look at your highest timeline. Grasp, live in that paradise matrix, knowing, believing what a beautiful world this is for us. Knowing that we can live heaven on earth, starting to believe it and feel it every single day. That's basically how you do it. Don't buy into fear. There are so many resources here on YouTube. There's so many beautiful, uplifting practices, people, music, clearings, teachings. Keep going, keep doing that. And keep applying that to your life. Remember who you are. Figure out your soul essence. Listen to the whispers of your soul. That's how you do it, basically. I'm just giving you like the key to how you get into a higher vibration, how you can really start ascending a little bit more every day. It's not just like minus 4D, 3D, 5D. It's like increments, little increments, like vibration. The third dimension is a huge, I would say, octave of tiny sub-octaves and frequencies, and you just go higher and higher and higher and higher. And the higher you go, the more you start getting into the field of the 5D, and the more invisible you become. I am basically pretty much invisible. And when I start to feel really bad, when I buy into negativity, when something happens, I'm like, oh no, and I start, acting crazy, I start making bad choices, I start going out there, then I start to become visible and they can catch me again. But I feel that I have worked in the past years exclusively on raising my vibration, of being a master, becoming a master, that I can hear my guides. They lead me, they guide me. I listen to them. I listen to those impulses. I've learned and practiced what it's like when you're getting divine guidance. I feel it, I know it, I hear it, and I act upon it. And that's why my guides told me suddenly, sell everything, go to Africa. Just fly away, just leave. I did it. 2 weeks after I left, Canada was locked down and nobody could leave. They still can't. If you don't have the V, you can't leave. Doesn't matter what. It's like, the politics of things that are going on in there. They have taken, in Canada specifically, in British Columbia, where I'm from, they have eased up on the restrictions, but you still can't leave the country without this, right? So that's an example of the divine guidance that I received, because I was just going higher and higher in my vibration. And once you're at a certain vibrational level, it's not possible for you to have a really bad life. It's not possible for you to come into situations where you're forced to do what you don't want to do. But you have to listen to your divine guidance, because you have come to a place where your guides are maybe not physically visible, but you can perceive them, you can hear them, you are closer to them. You're closer to your higher self. You have become a multidimensional being. and you choose to live in the higher part of your multidimensionality. We still have this 3D body, but our essence, our soul, our consciousness is so high. And we are shining so much light that for the authorities, for the negative ones, for negative situations, it has become almost impossible to see us and grasp us. We are like always, we're very elusive. We just make it through when this law comes, when something's shut down, we manage to just like go around it. Somehow they don't see us, you see, and that's the trick. We see them. We see how the world is organized right now. We see this new world order. We see what's going on. The wailing towers of Shanghai.
Under the strict policy, residents are not allowed to leave their homes even for food.
Wow, I mean, if you don't think that New World Order has already been in place for several countries, or even places, or even specific people in their little world, if you don't think that's not already taking place, you're wrong. It is taking place. The world has split. It has. It has shattered into different dimensions. And depending the vibration that you hold, furthermore, you will live in that split of dimensional peace that corresponds to your vibration. So if you have been able to live as a very highly vibrating being, you are going to resonate to the places in this world that are highly vibrational, to the places, to the situations. And even in the worst country where it's very oppressive, if you were there as a highly vibrational being, you would find a way to live, you would find a way to move, you would find a way to go around the law, the oppressors, those rules, those mandates, those brainwashing techniques. You'll find a way, and you can still live a beautiful, high vibrational life. And that's the only way, my friends, that's the only way you can escape it. You can make all kinds of plans, escape plans, move to the countryside, which probably is a good idea these days, right? Because the cities are being targeted very heavily by the New World Order, those who rule the world, right? The cities, that's where you can really get stuck. So maybe moving out of a city, out of the cities is maybe a good idea. Not giving any advice, but I'm just saying as a logical thing, right? So the only way to do this, is to become a more and more highly vibrating being, soul, human being, where you become invisible. Then you will not get psychic attacks anymore either. I went through a phase of getting psychically attacked. I think it's about 1.5 years back, when I was starting to really do the work, raising my vibration, and I was still visible for the negatives, and they were like, oh, this is interesting. There is a human being arising out of the masses, becoming very independent, very sovereign. We got to stop her. We got to stop. Boom. And they started attacking me in all different ways. And these attacks can come in different ways. I've noticed right here, I'm in Anunnaki country. South Africa, Anunnaki country. It's clear. This is where they started. This is where there's a lot of negative Anunnaki energy. Still, there's a lot of beautiful, positive souls too. But the system here is very clearly an Anunnaki-run system. Like everywhere else in the world, obviously. Like most places in the world. Well, I would say Asia is mostly draconian run. Different places in the world have those different groups. I think they have kind of come to an agreement with each other that some countries are more Anunnaki run, some countries are more draconian run. I'm going to analyze that in another video. But basically here, I've had instances where when I make myself be seen in a certain way, then those Anunnaki energies come and try to attack me. Physically, remember that story where I first came to South Africa? I went into a mall and without a mask, and I told one of those policemen, I'm not wearing a mask because I don't want to. You know, I was like really wanting to be a light warrior, but that was a mistake for me. Anyways, it was a mistake because I made myself be seen. I became visible to them because that energy of anger and self-righteousness is not a very high vibration. And then I almost fell on my back when I was going down a ramp. I could have broken my back, and then my guides kind of went whoo, and they helped me, and I went forward and I landed on my knees in public. I landed on my knees like this and I didn't hurt myself. But I know that that was a psychic attack. They tried to attack me, didn't work. And I'm not prone to psychic attacks anymore because I am vibrating at a very high level. So these mental and emotional psychic attacks don't really work that much on me anymore. Only if something happens and I let myself be affected and start on a very negative thought pattern. It happens almost never. So they will try to attack in different ways because we are still connected in the world and with the system. But the advice I can give you is when you start to raise your vibration, go higher and higher, find a way to get out of the system. Seriously, find a way to extract yourself from the system that you are not so visible and susceptible. I am out of the system. I'm getting out of the banking system completely. That's my next step. Crypto, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency is what I'm doing currently. And that is a decentralized, like not controlled by one group of people. This is like everyone controlling their own finances. Cryptocurrency is what I have been doing for the last 1.5 years, and I'm almost 100% in that. So I'm going to get completely out of that banking system, which is one of the worst oppressive Anunnaki/draconian run systems to oppress everybody, to keep everyone poor and controlled. I don't know what they are planning now with the New World Order. Digital currency, so that they can like turn off your bank account in a second and control you. No thank you, no thank you. I'm getting out of that system. I'm getting out of the tax system of oppressive countries like Canada. I want to get out of the tax system completely. Let's see if that's possible. I'm getting out of the medical system. Absolutely. I'm getting out of every single system where I can be controlled, manipulated, coerced, held down. I'm becoming sovereign in all ways. I don't hold a job in that world anymore. I do my own thing. So as your vibration goes higher, you will find more and more opportunities, doors opening up to you where you can exit out of the system, or at least enter into structures, companies, places, towns that are not so controlled, that are free, where there are very positive people in charge, right? So that is part of you just becoming a higher density being. Then you do not resonate with those lower dimensions anymore. Why do you think a lot of us spiritual people don't like money and kind of have this poverty thinking? Because the world financial system of fiat, of normal money, is run by negative soul groups, and it's very, very negative. It's not that abundance is negative, but the banking systems are negative. And of course, we highly dimensional starseeds are not going to resonate to that. We're not going to like it. So all those meditations, you know, like some friends told me, you have to say, I love money, I love money. And I could never say that. It's like, it doesn't feel right. But you know why? Because the money systems of the world are designed to hold us down, and they're created and maintained by negative soul groups who want to keep us in debt and keep us poor, tied, bound, and controlled. That's why. The medical system, we see it now, of course, like obviously the medical system is designed to keep us taking pills to just maintain our symptoms, to keep us sick, to keep us dependent, to make us take what they want to take so they can control our bodies. The medical system is also designed to control. Like all these systems are designed to control us. That's why getting out of the systems, one by one is what I recommend you do, and you can only do this if you have done a little bit of the work of raising your frequency, becoming a higher dimensional being, so that those things easily drop, because something with such a low vibration can't hold you anymore. It doesn't resonate anymore. Also, the people of very low vibrations, they will drop out of your life, and you will at some point actually physically become invisible. Have you heard of those gurus in India, you know, Babaji, Yogananda, who actually are able to become invisible and just locate themselves and their groups of followers into the Himalayas and then like appear again? They can actually do this. And why? Because they're in a completely different dimension, and they can just vibrate out of this dimension. That's what we have to do. This is what you have to do in order to escape the New World Order. And the more of us manage to raise our vibration to the point that we actually become higher dimensional beings, the faster the whole world will change, right? One last example about my theory that we can see them, but they cannot see us in the lower dimensions is the sad example of North Korea. I've been following North Korean defectors who live there, who escaped, and they say that in North Korea it is a total hell on earth. It is the most hellish place. The people are so oppressed, so poor, and they don't know what the rest of the world is like. They think that the whole world is like it is there. They are starving, they are oppressed, they have no rights, they have no freedom, they have nothing. They are just living like absolute slaves being massacred by the regime if they do anything wrong, or even if they don't do anything wrong, right? So it's really like the worst place on earth from what I have heard, from what I perceive, a whole country. And they are held in such a place that they have no idea what the free world is like. They're in a very negative 4D vibrational place, and they cannot even perceive or see or know that there are any places above them. They think that is all there is. That's reality to them. So they cannot even see us. They don't know what it's like to be living in a more free country, in a more higher vibration. They can't see those higher densities for them. That's it. That's what life is like. And they are being told that the rest of the world is even worse off than them, right? So that's one good example, one very physical, very tangible example. And those different split off dimensions and vibrations are very apparent here in South Africa. In South Africa, if you just drive for 1 hour, you can see probably 5 or 6 different densities, different ways of being, of seeing the world, different vibrations. It's very, very interesting. So, to sum it up, for you to live and move through this new world order that is being put upon us, that is like, it's like a soup that is boiling with all the ingredients going. That's what this world is like right now. And we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who is going to win. There's a battle between light and dark. We're being pulled in so many directions, from the negatives, from the positives, from enlightened beings. It's also the way of duality, the way of the cosmos. We're in the cosmic out-breath, starting to go into the in-breath, and that's why there's so much conflict, so much division right now of the polarities, right? And for you to be able to move through this, no matter where the rest of the world is going, you have to maintain your high vibration and get higher and higher and higher and higher. You have to do the process of ascension right now. Don't wait for anything. It's a daily choice pattern. Every day you can make the choice to step into a higher vibration or to step into a lower vibration, to step into joy, happiness, peace, and love, or to stay in fear and negativity and reaction to the world around you. The world around you won't change if you don't change within, and you know this. The world outside is a reflection of your world inside. And a lot of the world is pretty negative. So if you just keep perpetuating the negative thought patterns, if you keep just imitating and reacting to the negative world, and that's what all you'll see. You won't be able to move into higher dimensions. So it's all about your choices, your inner world, your practice, your vibration, your emotions. It's all about that. And if you keep looking up, I always say look up, the paradise matrix, for me it's so visible, it's so tangible. I know what this world is meant to be like. I know that we are meant to live paradise on earth, and we can. And I am living paradise on earth. I'm still here. Look at this. I'm still, this is what I wake up to every day. You see? It's, for me, I have been experiencing a very mixed, I would say, reality, but mostly very positive, and mostly I feel that I am in the Christ consciousness flow, experiencing heaven on earth. And of course, things happen. I am tossed around a little bit, but in the end, when I step back, I realize that it's because of my own choices. It's about how I react to things. In the end, it's all about your reaction, your choice. It's your choice whether to live paradise on earth, whether to be invisible, or whether to be right in the center of the battle between dark and light, the polarity, the oppression, the mandates, the New World Order. It's your choice. Remember that. Make sure you subscribe, my friends, because I'm going to do more videos. I'm back. I'm going to do lots of live streams, so make sure you turn on the notifications, okay? Just so you don't miss a live stream, because the time is different here. It might be at strange times. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Don't give up. Be positive. We got this. We got this, okay? Ciao for now.